Oh, wow. Do we have a week of astrology headed our way? We have Eclipse portal opening. We all know that is like lightning bolt energy coming straight at us. Fated, destined, karmic skip steps. We'll talk all about when that starts and how to work with that in this episode. We also have some feminine mischief going on in the beginning of the week. Some trickster energy via the feminine archetypes. This could show up in interesting ways in our lives. We'll talk about the archetypes that are involved in that and how we can see what this trickster energy is doing. I'll give you one little hint of a word: chaos. You may already know which archetype that is. If not, stay tuned because we will get there shortly. There's also a new moon. That makes this entire week, because that new moon doesn't happen until Saturday, it makes this entire week a shedding kind of a week. It's the dark phase of the moon cycle, all the way leading up to that new moon where we plant new seeds, we start new beginnings. But this will be a week of releasing, of completing things, ending things, having the challenging conversations, sending the emails that we need to send to complete something, pivot in a certain way in our lives, close a loop on something. It's the action-oriented week that you speak the thing you know, do the thing, take the action, make the decision, put it into physical, tangible stuff. Some of us are saying that pretty loudly. And it's also, I'll share this before I dive into day by day. It's also that's what's happening in others. So we might be receiving information this week. We might be the ones on the other side of that challenging conversation, or that email where we're told we don't have a job, or we don't have a relationship, or we don't have a home next year because our lease is over, or some things like that can really be happening. Are these tangible, physical, real world pivots in things taking place this week. All right, let's get into this astrology. We'll go day by day. I want to take us Monday through Sunday, the 18th of August to the 24th of August. I want to give special emphasis on that new moon. I love giving bigger time slots and bigger energy toward the new moons and the full moons that happen each week. Not each week, every other week, but happen in our weekly conversations. Reason being, they really hold a big, powerful energy, and they'll ripple days before, days after, and it gives us a real signature of that moment in time. All right, let me feel if there's anything else. I think I'll also do a little bit on Eclipse. We'll start to open a little bit on Eclipse. If y'all been around for a while, you know at Rewilding we love eclipse seasons. They are very powerful spiritual moments in time. They are moments in time that really support our soul's path forward. They push our ego out of the side. They push our false self out of the side, and they literally put our true self, our soul self, in the driver's seat. We get to see things we wouldn't see normally, kind of like get the clarity that we've been craving, like what is meaningful to me? What is purposeful to me? That's what eclipse seasons really answer. They're also really lightning bolt-like spiritual awakening moments, especially this eclipse season. It's on the spiritual axis. So in the episode, I'll open the door to eclipse season. We're going to do more on eclipse season here on YouTube and in the podcast. If you're not subscribed, I would say subscribe. You don't want to miss eclipse stuff. It is such a potent and powerful time to be tapping in, and a powerful thing to be conscious of. We're all going to move through eclipse season, but it's how are we going to do that? Are we going to do that with what intention, what aim? Where is our focus at? Are we focusing on, all right, I'm going to do a karmic skip step here? Or are we more like, I'm just going to put my head under the covers and bury my head in the sand and pretend like this isn't happening. Pretend like this evolutionary change isn't happening. Pretend like these soul callings that are being illuminated during eclipse season are not happening. There's many ways for us to do it. And I would very much encourage, of course, you make your own choices. I would very much encourage us to do that in a very empowered, conscious, co-creator kind of a way. It's also what these eclipses are asking us to do. Is the shadow side of them is anesthetizing and numbing out. That's the Pisces Virgo axis. Shadow side is that I am going to escape. I'm going to do the escapist sort of route through this. But the real empowered high side of this spiritual axis is Earth Priestess. I'm actually going to bring this in. I'm going to ground this in. I'm going to do some soul retrieval. I'm going to do karmic skip step. I'm going to shift and alter the trajectory of my gosh darn life because I can. And what else am I going to do with this one precious, beautiful, wild life other than the things that are the most meaningful and the most purposeful and the most love-filled things that I can think of doing? Just that. Just that in this episode. All right, let's see what we can get into here. Let's start day by day. We start the week off with that feminine trickster energy, kind of feminine disruptor energy. I like that word for this, these first couple of days. I'm going to say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, even into Thursday. And I'll go day by day and pick this apart, but they're going to be disruption. You know how the feminine is the embodied energy. When we distill it between the masculine energy and the feminine energy, at least in this conversation and in these archetypal energies that I'm speaking to that are in the astrology right now and loud and alive for us, it's deciphering between the two. The masculine would be more consciousness associated. The feminine would be more life, tangible, physical associated. They say like Father Sky, Mother Earth, right? It's like the earthy, the body-based. And that's the kind of disruption that's going to be happening at the beginning of this week. The earthy, the body-based. You want to think instead of formless, right? That would be the masculine, like formless, consciousness. You want to think form, right? You want to think form. You want to think the expressions of life itself, the trees, the plants, the flowers, my body, the ground of being, that would be considered the feminine. All right, so this area of our lives, ourselves, is being hit. I don't know if I want to say hit. Let's say it's being infused. It's being infused with disruption energy. Right? Disruption energy. Eris, the great disruptor, very loud this week. Kali, in the mix. Liberator. Medusa, mask remover, in the mix. So these are like feminine, astrological, archetypal. They're also energies that live in us, of course, as above, so below. These energies are being asked to shake things up, to disrupt things, to keep it real. It's kind of what they're saying. Like, I'm going to shake up the form, 3D physical world. Life around you is going to be maneuvering in a way to keep you on your toes, to keep it real. I need to keep you alive. I need to keep you awake. I need to keep you sharp. That's what she's saying. I want you to be paying attention here. And so if I have to rock the boat, if I have to create chaos, if I have to create a little bit of disruption this week for you to be alive, to be alert, to be awake, I'm going to do that. That's really what she's doing. And for her to be doing that all week as we lead up to the new moon on Saturday, that officially, technically opens up eclipse season. Powerful. It's like she's laying the groundwork for us to have an even bigger eclipse season. And when I say bigger eclipse season, I mean more gains. That's kind of what eclipse seasons are about. It's gains. You get huge spiritual gains during an eclipse season, should you choose to work with it consciously. It's part of the reason why we do so much around eclipse seasons in Rewilding. I mean, we're holding 2 events, in-person events, on both of these eclipses. Isn't that wild? There's still a couple tickets left, just in case you want to get massive gains. And you're okay to go to Australia because that's where those two events are taking place. But there's a few tickets left for both of the events. I don't know how long those will last, but you'll find a link below. We even have a little bit of an Eclipse sort of special offer going on for the Sydney weekend event that's happening. Anyways, details below. So let's keep going here. I want to dive specifically into this feminine disruptor energy that's happening on Monday. So here's where it starts is the sun. The sun, this is like, obviously it's illuminating, it's shining light, but the sun represents conscious self. It's the part of self that we're aware of. This is part of what makes this so in our faces, this feminine chaos so in our faces. So the sun is square Medusa on Monday. All right. So in our face, it's so good. Like, this is such a great analogy. The sun in our face, consciousness in our face. Medusa, the mask remover. She's a dark goddess. She's square the sun. It's a challenging aspect, but challenging aspects make us move. They really open the door to disruptor energy. So it's Medusa. Medusa coming in, right? Medusa is a truth teller. Medusa stands for you removing the false, removing the wounds, removing the pain, removing the shells and the armor and the ways that we have created these certain ways to protect ourselves, specifically our soft, vulnerable, feminine hearts. Yeah? I don't know about you, but I know I can turn people into stone to protect my heart. I don't know, but I know that I have that capacity to turn people to stone to protect my heart. I have a capacity to do many weird, strange little things in order to protect my heart from getting hurt. So here's what Medusa says. Medusa says, there's a better way. There's a better way beyond these little protection mechanisms probably created in childhood, probably absorbed from family patterns, probably a little bit of karmic past life ways. There's a more alive, aligned, evolved way of having a heart that is big, full, open, radiant, no matter what's happening around you. You do not need to turn people to stone in order to seemingly protect your heart. If your heart is that full, that big, that wild, that true, it doesn't need little defense mechanisms. It doesn't need those things. That's Medusa. Medusa's love is so big, deep, real, wild, true. So that's just Monday. Is Medusa coming in and asking us to, let me go off the disruptor energy. Medusa coming in to disrupt things, saying, here, there is a truer, more alive, more aligned way where you don't have to wear these masks. You don't have to operate from these little protection mechanisms. You don't have to. It's like Medusa brings in mature feminine, like wizened, mature feminine. But there's a super sexuality to Medusa. So don't start thinking crone. Don't start thinking crone, all like witchy, old school sort of a thing. It is not that at all. Medusa holds very deep, potent, powerful sexuality, sensuality kind of energy within her. She also helps us to move through things like sister wound. This could be coming up as she squared the sun. Sister wound. It was Pallas Athena, a fellow feminine archetypal energy, who made her into Medusa, who moved her from being the beautiful one into the Gorgon with all the snake hair. That's a bit of sister wound, and it's because she took vows, so Medusa took vows to be in Pallas Athena's temple. She took vows of celibacy, then she slept with Poseidon. However that unfolded, there's all kinds of different, ways of speaking to these myths, but she broke her vow of celibacy. Thus, she was then turned into the Gorgon Medusa that she was from beautiful maiden goddess into Gorgon. So there was betrayal on both sides. This can be kicked up on Monday. But here's the disruption. It's like disruption piece. I want to disrupt, but I'm doing this for your greatest good. I'm doing this to help you move through your sister wound. I'm doing this to help you move through core wound of betrayal. I'm doing this to help you evolve into a higher level of expression where you don't have to wear masks and you don't have to have armoring and you don't have to walk around with all these little protections. There's a different way. That's Medusa. But wait, there's more. So on Monday, not only is the sun square Medusa, squares, remember, they're very challenging. That'll be the most challenging piece is with Medusa. But the sun is also in a trine to Eris and Chiron. Chiron and Eris are dancing together. This is a long-term thing. This is very evolutionary for us. It's very shamanic initiatory for us for the next year. It's going to be going on. Now, when the sun is in this trine, there's a flowing energy, right? So it's a flow. It's not like that push of a square where it's really pushing you to do something. It's going to show up some way, whether we're conscious of it or not. Medusa's coming in on Monday. Whether we're aware of it or not is a different story. So now when it's a flowing energy though, right? When it's a flowing energy, it's not necessarily in our faces like that. It's not necessarily pushing us like that, but it's like Eris, goddess of chaos and discord. She's kind of flowing toward the sun. Sun is conscious self, right? Sun is conscious self. Okay, I'm just gonna gently and beautifully flow some chaos, discord your way for truth. She's a truth warrior. She's not just doing it just to create chaos for fun. She's doing it because if I can create chaos, you're gonna get to a deeper truth. If I can disrupt the false, you're going to get to a deeper truth. Without the disruption, though, you would have just kept going on same, right? Status quo. She's like, nope, we're going to disrupt that a little bit. Now, Chiron in the mix, right? So it's Chiron conjunct Eris. They're both in that trine to the sun. Chiron, shamanic initiator. Also core wounds. So that's a beautiful flowing energy of core wounds, right? Of core wounds, right to conscious self, the sun. Beautiful, rites of passage, shamanic initiations, right? Like just beautifully flowing right to the sun, while the sun's square Medusa, and Medusa's like, I want evolution, there's a better way, take these masks off. So let me wrap up Monday. I would just create some space. This is just an offering. I would just create some space Monday night, Monday morning, and go, all right, I'm about to have an Eris, Chiron, Medusa kind of day. And I'm just going to be really awake to it all. If you remember back to what I was sharing, that this feminine disruption, what it's asking for is it's asking us to stay alive. Stay alive. Like, I want to keep you on your toes. I want you to stay alive. Stay alive. Pay attention. So if we set the intention on Monday morning, I'm going to pay attention. Awesome. And then at night, do a reflection. What wounds came up for me? What was challenging today? What triggered me? And what's being asked? Highest and best. You kind of look at it from this high vantage point. You look down at yourself and you're like, all right, what's the evolutionary growth that's being asked here? Oh, I'm being asked to let go of my fear of other women being prettier than me. I'm just making random stuff up, right? Oh, I'm being asked to look very deeply at my own judgments of my sexuality. It can be anything and everything because this is core wounds coming up. It's core wounds, Chiron, just like here, free flowing core wounds. I want you to see. Such a setup, y'all. Such a setup heading into eclipse. Like, this is eclipse energy. We're already in it. It's already here. The new moon is just the moon cycle that the first eclipse happens in, because the first eclipse is a full moon eclipse. So on Saturday's new moon, that opens up the new moon cycle. eclipse energies are already here. So for this to be this, like, I'm going to start to rattle the bones, you know, I'm going to start to move the tectonic plates beneath you. I'm going to start to do the trickster stuff. I'm going to start. I want you to stay awake, stay alive. It's just too good. All right, let's keep going here. So I'll wrap up Monday by, like, it's really great healing energy, removing of the masks kind of energy. Moving into Tuesday. This is lighter. So this is lighter energy. That Sun, Trine, Chiron, Eris, that's still going to be happening. The Sun square Medusa, that energy is still there. But now, come Tuesday, we get infused with some high voltage feminine magic. So if Monday was more this, like, deep feminine disruptor magic, you know, from the dark goddesses, Medusa is a dark goddess, Eris is a dark goddess. They want to show you the hidden. They want to like show you, like, the shadow sides of self for your evolution, of course. But now we get the higher vibrating archetypal energies coming in loud on Tuesday. We have the Sun, Sextile, Isis, and Hygeia. This is high level, high frequency feminine magic. A sextile is a flowing aspect of energy. So if Monday we had dark goddesses in the mix, Tuesday we have light goddesses in the mix. Hygeia, Kundalini, goddess of miraculous healing and awakening. Isis, Egyptian goddess of the mysteries of magic. She who was able to bring her husband back from the dead, right? She holds sacred sex. You could run an entire mystery school just on Isis archetype. That's how much magic and wisdom is held in Isis energy. Now, conjunct Hygeia, Kundalini, goddess of miraculous healing and awakening. This is potent. This is potent. So now what this is saying is any of the wounds that are getting kicked up, there is this real ease-filled, grace-filled way that they can very easily shift. Very easily shift. So Chiron, deepest wounds coming to the surface. You've got Hygeia, Kundalini, goddess of miraculous healing. You've got Isis. Every single mystery, basically, in the feminine is held within her mysteries in some form or fashion. Both of them going, we can very easily heal this Medusa wound, this Chiron wound, this betrayal wound, this inner child wound, this sister wound, this witch wound, very easily, very easily, very easily. If you want to tap into that energy and you don't have a way to tap into Kundalini healing energy, right? Miraculous healing energy, go do our body wisdom workshop. It guides you right in there. Hold your wounds, whatever came up on Monday or whatever is coming up for you or whatever is just triggery, whatever's hot for you. Hold that in your intention, in your energy field, and then walk into that workshop. It's a $47 workshop. You can hold that and walk right into that workshop. It will alchemize and it will shift and it will move all of that in your highest good exactly as it's meant to. If you don't have a way to do it, maybe you have a way of tapping into that kind of high voltage alchemy with Isis and Hygeia. Do it. Do it really and truly. Tuesday is an amazing day to do alchemy. By the way, the Alchemist workshop is part of our new human activation series. That's another amazing thing that you could do on Tuesday. I almost forgot. We just opened the doors to that during Eclipse season. Go do alchemy. Go do alchemy. Go do alchemy. Now that's a $197 product to get into new human activation series. And the bonus in there, it's a $150 bonus, is the Alchemist workshop. You could go do the Alchemist workshop and hold that same triggery stuff or tough stuff. Like I'm going through another layer of witch wound right now. Just am. I'm headed into facilitating Creation Mystery School in Australia. That's happening on the second eclipse, and sandwiched in between the two eclipses, actually. I'm headed into facilitating that. Of course, I'm getting prepared. Of course, my system's purifying itself. Of course, I've been getting trained for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks to hold this space. And the next layer of my own wounding, fear around this level of power, which is creation power, that's coming up. we could call it the witch wound, we could call it the priestess wound, we could call it the mystic wound, we could call it whatever kind of wound, but it's like the fear of power and responsibility of power. Like, who do I think I am to be messing with creation energy, not just messing with it for myself, but I'm messing with it for a whole crew of people who are journeying into this. Like, I'm in the midst of some really big, beautiful, but pretty intense preparation, pretty intense training, pretty intense purification of all that's coming up for me, so I can hold that space as hollow bone, right? Hollow bone. But whatever is coming up, I would take that in on Tuesday. I will do this on Tuesday. I'm going to take all of that in on Tuesday. Known and unknown, just like, boosh, here it is. And I'm going to do my own practices around alchemy. I'm going to do my own practices because I've been working with Isis and Hygeia forever, right? And I'm going to call them in. I'm going to call in Isis, Hygeia, and I'm going to go, alchemize this. To the degree that's served right now, help me alchemize this, right? Okay, again, 2 ways to work with that. You can either go jump into the new human, which I would super strongly recommend. If there was one program that I would recommend to do during this eclipse season, I would do new human. This was the last challenge we held. It was our most requested challenge. Our most loved challenge was this last one. It was the new feminine, the new masculine, and the new union, really opening us up to the new human within self. And then we just put a bonus in there, the alchemist journey. That could help you tap into this. Also the new feminine. Do that first part on Tuesday to tap into Isis, Hygeia. Crazy powerful. Or don't, or don't, right? Like, this is an empowerment path. This whole moment in time is about you being you deepening into you, your truth, your empowerment, you following your own inner wisdom. All right, let's keep going. So now we're going into Wednesday. By the way, the sun is sextile Sekhmet on Tuesday also. Yeah, another feminine disruptor, Sekhmet. How I see this as Sekhmet, she's another Egyptian goddess, and the gift of Sekhmet, she's the lion-headed goddess, right? The gift of Sekhmet is alignment. It's alignment. It's alignment. It's your true north. It's alignment. That dark goddess, I am going to hold you, that fierce grace, alignment in your highest good, your highest effort. I love that she's there. She's kind of keeping us on the straight and narrow. If all these feminine disruptors this week, they're keeping us on our toes, Sekhmet's coming in and she's like, and I'm going to keep you on straight and narrow. So you're not veering off over here, getting distracted by this like nonsensical thing. I want to keep you on your destiny line, which is Eclipse. And we all know Eclipse energy is coming in hot this week. And so to have these feminine disruptors really setting us up, they're setting us up for success. Okay, let's go into Wednesday. We get a little more dark goddess going on. Another disruption piece is Kali, Trine, Hekate. Right? 2 more dark goddesses. Kali, fierce liberator. I'm going to slay your ego. I'm going to liberate you from your false self. I'm going to liberate you from your silly little attachments. I'm going to liberate you from the silly things that you're clinging onto that no longer serve your soul's highest journey. Too perfect for eclipse season, right? Soul's highest journey, that's eclipse season. Soul's highest journey. And then Kali coming in the mix with her sword. I'm going to help to set you free from the things that you're ready to let go of for your soul's highest journey. More fierce grace, stark goddess. Hekate, queen of the witches. She is all up in the mix in these eclipses, by the way. All up in the mix in these eclipses. If I had to pick one dark goddess energy that's going to be the loudest during these eclipses, it's Hekate, queen of the witches. Here's the great news about this. She's queen of the crossroads. She's oracle. She's visionary. She's holding past, present, and future. She's adding a little bit of more crossroads energy to this eclipse season. Both eclipses. Both the September 7th and the September 21st eclipse. And what she's bringing in like witchy knowing. Like witchy, oracle, intuitive knowing. I know what I know, and this is the path. She's also bringing a little more time warping, time bending, crossroads. Here, this is a karmic skip step. Here's a life trajectory alteration. She's bringing that in, and as the feminine, she's bringing it in a ground of being kind of way. She is very deep rooted. You want to think tree of life when you think of Hekate, right? Tree of life. She's the triple face goddess. She holds all 3 faces of the feminine in her beingness, right? The maiden, mother, crone, all in her beingness. So there's this multi-dimensional aspect of time that she brings in, this multi-dimensional crossroads, your path forward that she's bringing in. And she's also bringing in some clarity, bringing in clarity for your soul's path forward, highest path forward. And that might be a karmic skip step. That might be a complete altered trajectory of your life. It might be a complete shift that's going on. That's eclipse season. It's eclipse season. Okay, let's keep going. So that's Wednesday. There's also some nodes of fate stuff going on with the feminine on Wednesday. Love this. I mean, literally the feminine's setting us up for the eclipse season. She's not huge player in the actual two eclipses. She's setting us up though. She's in the undercurrents and she's preparing us. It's literally like she's bringing you into her temple and she's doing all the preparation ceremony for you to be like fed to the lions. That's kind of what eclipse season is like a little bit. Like you're the gladiator and you're literally like, here you go. This is your gauntlet. Choose your weapons well. No. Well, that's kind of fun. All right. I don't think it's too far off too. All right. So here we go. This is still Wednesday. Again, this is flavoring, not just Wednesday. It's just louder on Wednesday. Is the nodes of fate. We have Black Moon. We have Medusa and we have Vesta. Sorry, not Medusa. Merlin. I like that. He's bringing in some magic. You know, it's interesting. We have the two like magicians up in the mix this week. Chiron, right? That was Monday. We talked about him being Trine the sun. Now we have Merlin being in Trine sextile to the nodes of fate, north and south node. Of course, they're opposite. And so Black Moon, that's conglomerate of the dark goddesses. This is really bringing in the nodes of fate are lit up. They're always lit up in eclipse season. We're in eclipse season. But it's kind of interesting and kind of cool that we've got more support for this, adding more juice. We have Black Moon. That's the conglomerate of the dark goddesses. We've already talked about the deep sacred feminine, the dark goddesses in the hidden. I'm going to work here. Like you're not going to get away with surface level stuff. Here, whoosh. Her. Then we have Merlin bringing in alchemy. Alchemy. He's the alchemist. You want to work with Merlin energy, high voltage sorcery, high voltage magic, high voltage alchemy, go do that alchemist workshop. That's the bonus for New Human. Super crazy discount. It's more than half off right now during eclipse season. We'll put a link down there below. And then Vesta. So Vesta's in a really good aspect to these nodes of fate. Vesta is keeper of the sacred inner flame. Vesta helps to helps us to aim true, helps us to aim our own flame, our own passion, our passion, your life force. And she helps us to aim it at higher purpose. This is really what you're here for. This is the highest thing that you can be doing. There's many things that you could be doing, many things that call your life force and your attention and your energy. I think we can all relate to that just on a daily basis, how many things are pulling at us, wanting our attention. But Vesta's like, no, here, this is what you're really wired for. This is the highest thing you can be pouring your attention into right here. She's great for those of us who feel like we might have a little bit of like ADHD or a little bit of like everything wants my love. She's really powerful to help rewire our inner systems so that we can really focus in that way. Okay. Now we move into Thursday. Remember I said Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's going to be feminine disruption. It's going to be feminine disruption. Thursday is same thing. Now it's Venus. Venus is our, I'm going to say values for the first word that I feel like choosing here. Venus is our values. It's our feminine values. It's how we value, the order we rank things in around valuing family, valuing connection, valuing love, valuing sensuality, valuing life, it's feminine, right? And so Venus, we feel into that, and we feel into this like deep feminine longing. We all have it. It's not specific gender at all. This deep feminine longing of community, deep feminine longing of connection, deep feminine longing of just like living life, expressing life, connecting into life in all the different unique ways we're called to. Venus is square Eris. We've already talked about Eris. So now this Venus aspect of self, instead of it being the sun, which is in our face as consciousness, now it's our feminine, is being disrupted by Eris. Eris is like, I'm going to create chaos, sunshine, because you need to reorganize your values. Your work-life balance is way out of whack. You have gone way too far into your masculine and you have completely denied your feminine. I'm going to actually create discord and I'm going to create chaos. This could be chaos in your emotions, chaos in your mind, chaos in your sexuality, chaos in your body, or chaos in a physical way in your external world. Eris doesn't care. She can access anything. She's a Shakti. She's the feminine. They flow through all of life force, all forms. Your brain, your heart, your butt, your dog, your relationship, your job. It's the feminine. Steeped, the feminine. The world is dripping with feminine Shakti. There's nowhere that she is not operating and cannot go. And so Eris is saying, all right, cool. I'm going to stir some stuff up. I'm here. I'm here because I want you to live from a truer place. I want you to know your truth. I want you to know yourself in a deeper way. And I want you to know what you really want in a deeper way. It's really what she's saying. And she's like, I'm going to help. It might hurt. It might feel like I'm ripping the Band-Aid off, but I'm going to help. I'm going to help. So that's Venus square Eris. And then of course, she's going to square Chiron. That's on Thursday, the 21st. Now we get into Friday, the 22nd. Sun moves into Virgo. Sun moves into Virgo. Sun has been in Leo. We've had a lot of Leo energy. I say a lot of Leo energy this Leo season because we had a Mercury retrograde in Leo. That took Leo up 10 notches, right? A Mercury retrograde in Leo was just like, I'm going to take the Leo aspect of you, Leo aspect of your world. I'm going to take the aims of Leo energy, and the aim of Leo energy is you standing in your empowered, unique, bright, shining self. That's Leo season. You standing in your unique, bright, empowered, shining self, and I'm going to show you what's blocking that. I'm going to push you into your true shining self, your true radiant self. What is it that is your unique shine? Right? I'm going to help you stand in that courage, the lion-hearted courage. I'm going to help you to stand in that. That's Leo energy. So we had a huge Leo season with that Mercury retrograde in Leo. Now, Virgo following Leo. Virgo is earth. Virgo grounds it in, right? If Leo is fire, it was fire. Now it's like, okay, and the rubber hits the road, and we're going to anchor this in. And we're going to embody this. We're going to integrate this. That's Virgo season. After a hot Leo season, it's now we're going to make the changes. We're going to take the actions. Virgo is daily life, is daily decisions, is the small little daily routines, the little acts of service, the organized way that we live. All the little things are big. That's part of what Virgo's saying. On a higher way of looking at Virgo, Virgo's the earth priestess, right? Isn't that a different way of looking at Virgo when you're like, oh God, Virgo is so critical and self-analyzing and just such a perfectionist. That's because Virgo's a priestess. Virgo wants purity. Virgo wants purity in channeling in the grace and the love and the light into the physicality and then out into the world. No wonder why Virgo struggles with perfectionism. Virgo's trying to channel high voltage grace that into some of the darkest places that are not super high frequency. Of course, there's going to be like wild, weird ways that Virgo is nitpicky and wants to get it right. But it is a shadow side of Virgo that we do want to watch out for. So the sun moves into Virgo. Now, these eclipses, obviously the sun moving into Virgo is pointing to, oh yeah, that's right. These eclipses take place on the Virgo-Pisces axis, right? So eclipses, they're full moon, they are new moons, they are close to the nodes of fate, and they are always taking place on these axes while the nodes of fate are in these places. Right? So this is a Virgo Pisces eclipse season. Our last eclipse in March, that season was also Virgo Pisces, although it had a little bit of the previous one in there. But now we're well and truly into the spiritual axis eclipse season. So the sun moving into Virgo on Friday kind of helps our conscious self, right? The part that we really identify with, to shift energies into Earth Priestess, right? So conscious self is in Earth Priestess. It's also helping us to ground in that which we got last month in Leo season, that which we got in that Mercury retrograde, around courageously stepping further and further into our true, shining, full, unique, beautiful essence of self. Now we get to really anchor it in, ground it in. Deep roots, kind of like Hekate, deep roots. It's Earth Priestess. It's embodied, it's integrated, it's grounded into every aspect of life, wants to put all of that spirit into life, soul into life, grace, love, light into life, high frequencies into life. I want to ground it in, anchor it in, integrate it in, embody it in everywhere. Just that, just that. All right, let's move into the new moon. So now, Sun just went into Virgo. Now we have this new moon happening at 0 degrees of Virgo. Okay, 0 degrees. This is a new beginning. So if a new moon, it's a new beginning. It's a new chapter. But this is a newer new beginning, a new chapter. It's got more beginning, fresh start, planting seeds energy because it's at 0 degrees. Now it has more, not just newer energy or beginning, fresh start energy. It's got that because it's 0 degrees of energy. It has more planting seeds energy because it's Earth Priestess Virgo. Plant seeds. I'm earthy. I'm the Earth Priestess. Let me plant on this new moon. Let me plant high voltage seeds, high voltage spirit seeds, soul seeds. What is your soul seeding during this new moon, which is an eclipse season? I'm also opening up eclipse season with this new moon. That's what this Virgo new moon is saying. I'm opening up eclipse season fully. The door is now wide open to eclipse season because in 2 weeks, you're going to get hit with the first full moon eclipse. So right now, let's get super conscious. Let's get super conscious. Let's get super intentional. I want you paying attention. Remember, we had feminine disruptors all week asking us, be on your toes. Be on your toes. I want to keep bringing you in. Where's your consciousness going? Where awareness goes, energy flows. Where are you? Where are you at? Right? Are you burying your head? Because this is the shadow side of this eclipse season, and this new moon is Pisces. That's the shadow side. Pisces, escapism. Pisces is the most high voltage spiritual sign that there is, right? I'm not saying that Pisces isn't fucking amazing. They're all fucking amazing, but they all have a shadow side. Just like Virgo's shadow side is fucking perfectionism. You get frozen in perfectionism. It's not perfect enough yet. Okay, well then you're frozen and you're not doing anything. It's never going to be perfect. You're human. There is no perfection. It doesn't even exist, Virgo. And the same with Pisces. Okay, Pisces, yeah, I get all is one, but we're still having this human experience. It's a both and kind of a thing. That's the Virgo Pisces axis. Right? It's a both and. Like, we don't just get to escape. There's no spiritual bypassing. That's Pisces shadow side. Spiritual bypassing. I'm going to Netflix out for the next fucking 6 weeks during this eclipse season. I'm going to just bury my head. I'm not getting out of bed. Victim also. I'm going to play victim. Oh my God, woe is me. Oh my God, I can't believe my soul signed up for this life. I must not have read the fine print of my soul contract. All that stuff, like, oh God, If you weren't meant to be here, you wouldn't be here. If I wasn't meant to be here, I wouldn't be here. That's what this eclipse season is saying. This eclipse season is saying, get over your little self. You signed up to be here right on time. You signed up for this new Earth experience. You signed up for AI to go fucking crazy. You signed up for human consciousness to be evolving at this rate in 2025 and 2026. You signed up. You don't know it because you forgot. You forgot because you signed a little thing like, I want to do a remembery thing in this lifetime too. I forgot. That's what this is saying. Don't play victim to it. Own it. Love it. Be empowered by it. It's empowering. It's empowering. That's this eclipse season. Okay, so this new moon at 0 degrees of Virgo, setting new intentions, planting seeds, really and truly planting seeds, getting super aware, super conscious. 0 degrees also is the creation point. It helps us to dial in, like it dials in this 0 point energy, right? I'm dialing into this present moment right here, right now. What is it that serves? What are the seeds that I'm planting for this eclipse season? And eclipse season, of course, is your soul's highest path forward, is karmic skip steps, is life-changing trajectories. I know I'm going wild here. By the way, I just filmed the eclipse deep dive. 2.5 hours on these 2 eclipses. Yep. That's sitting inside bones. We just put it in there yesterday. So there's 2.5 hours. That's an extra bonus for those who join during this eclipse season. It's open. It's there. If you're like, whoa, I want to prepare. I want to really journey through this eclipse season. I'm holding our membership through this eclipse season. September 1 workshop is eclipse focused. October 1 workshop is eclipse focused. And there's an immediate access to that 2.5 hour eclipse deep dive that's already waiting in membership. That's $59 a month, or you can get 2 months for free if you want to commit to a year's worth of, I'm going to say, like, it's being worked, right? That's rewilding. It's being worked. Sometimes it's like spiritual boot camp is kind of how rewilding is sometimes referred to. It's called living close to the bone for a reason, like holding us on that razor's edge of living life close to the bone, close to our truest truth, like soul-led life. And what does that actually mean, entail, and how do we do it? That's rewilding membership. So that's on offer too. You'll see a link below to dive into membership and that 2.5 hour eclipse deep dive that's already waiting for you. Okay, so this new moon, here we go. At 0 degrees in Virgo, opens up the eclipse season fully, like doors now flung wide open. Next point, square Uranus, radical revolutionary, radical awakener, square, push. Remember that square is hard. It's pushing. It's going to happen. It's going to take place. I am going to move you in a certain way. I want radical revolutionary. I don't care if this is at a neck-breaking pace. I'm Uranus. I am lightning bolt, Kundalini awakener. I'm going to awaken you. I want to awaken you to a beyond the ordinary state of your reality. There's more and you're not seeing it. You've got the bandwidth of this, and I want to open you up to double your bandwidth of what your current reality is. There's more miraculous to be living, to be operating from, to be orchestrating within your life, and I want to open you to that. This is how this eclipse season is kicking off. So good. So good. He's also a big archetypal energy moving us into new human, moving us into new earth, moving us into this new consciousness, moving us into all of that new that everyone's been talking about in 2025 and 2026. Again, the new human. If you're called to this new earth, if you're called to that, go check out the new human. Crazy, wild, tangible fucking support on how we actually get our systems to rewire and align and attune to what it is that 2025 and 2026 is pushing us into with regards to new earth, new human. It's one of the greatest bodies of work that ever came through me. I literally watched it. I was like, I think I was out for a couple of days after that, like recovering, like embodying it for myself, because it was me switching on those new codes in myself. It's not like I'm not also calling in the new human that's possible in 2025. This wasn't possible for me a year ago. The consciousness wasn't there. The doors weren't open for it then. It was powerful. And you could literally feel the cellular structure of your being, the DNA shifting in your whole body going through it. It's no joke, right? It's no joke. Talk about spiritual boot camp. This is like spiritual boot camp for those on the razor's edge of human consciousness expansion. And like, all right, well, I did sign up for that, to be on the, we'll call it the bleeding edge. I mean, and I'm guessing if you're here in rewilding, you're kind of somehow on that frontier. We're in a new frontier, and like, kudos to you. Shit's not easy being at the front. You know, it's like the geese when they fly in the V. You know, we're like the first couple of birds, and we're just copping all the wind. We're like, oh, you know, I'll like expand my consciousness before the rest of the collective consciousness expands theirs. But you know, we're like, wow, this is the last. Anyways, if you're feeling any of that, the New Human series, that can really support that. It can really help the body to catch up to maybe what the energetic body's already doing. It helps the physical body. It helps the mental body. It helps our emotional body to catch up with kind of what we're tapping into already, many of us. So again, that's there. That's on special. It's only open during eclipse season, though. We'll close that again. Okay, so there's also a yod during this new moon. Yod, finger of God, fated, karmic. What a way to open up the eclipse season. Again, the hits just keep on coming. More. Are you kidding me? Like, all right, come on. It's already square Uranus. We're already at 0 degrees, right? Like, it's already opening up the eclipse. Full moon eclipse is happening in 2 weeks. Like, this is a lot, Sabrina. And now you're talking yod. Yes, I am talking Yod. The sun and the moon are at 0 degrees. It's a new moon, they're conjunct, of course. Pluto is at 1 degrees. Saturn, Neptune are at 1 degrees. It's a perfect finger of God. What does finger of God means? It's destined. It's destined, it's fated. Pluto, transformation, death for rebirth. Saturn and Neptune, crumbling foundations to move into the new. Reality is not what we think reality is. Illusion might be the reality. Reality might be illusion. We don't know yet. We're resorting that out, and that's going to be shifting for us in huge ways. Talk about new consciousness, new human, right? So Pluto and Neptune, all of those energies, and Pluto going deep transformation, deepest transformation, soul evolution. That's Pluto, right? Death for rebirth. Both of those energies pointing right at the sun and the moon. That's you. That's me. Like, that's our conscious self sun, unconscious self moon, right? Masculine sun, feminine moon. Like, just too perfectly, finger of God, of those 3 energies pointing right at us. Like, here you go. Here you go. Whee! P.S. Let me go back really quickly to this new moon square Uranus. Uranus is also conjunct Sedna. Talked about Sedna. I might do a deep dive on Sedna here on the podcast. Let me know if you want to know a little more about Sedna. She's the Inuit goddess, and she holds actually masculine betrayal. Like, she was literally clinging onto her old life so badly that she was holding onto her father's boat, the edge of her father's boat, by her fingertips. He has to cut her fingertips off. It's a shamanic initiation. Cut her fingertips off so that she lets go. Talk about betrayal, having to go through masculine wounding, feminine wounding, letting go. And then she falls into the deepest abysses, the deepest mysteries of the deepest, most sacred feminine aspects of self, the watery, deep mysteries. And in that, she goes through the most enormous transformation of going from mortal to immortal, from human to goddess. So she's also pointing to, this is a radical, revolutionary, complete whole body shift. And you might be going kicking and screaming. You might be going clinging on to the old, like, please, I'm not ready for AI to take over the world. Please, I'm not ready for my consciousness to expand. I'm not ready to be this sensitive, this empathic, this emotional. I'm not ready for these psycho-spiritual gifts to switch on. Like, New Human Activation Series can help with that. just saying. I'm not saying everyone's in that place, but it can really help to support that surrender, shift in perspective of, it's all happening to me instead of it's happening for me. I am living at the perfect time. I signed up for this. And if I shift my perspective and I go, oh my gosh, what is here for me? Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. I'm going to have a completely different experience through 2025, 2026 into 2027 as all this radical, rapid transformation is taking place. All right. This new moon is also trine Sekhmet and Hygeia. Yes, I love this. We talked a tiny little bit about Sekhmet earlier. Sekhmet is really holding us to our truest true north, right? Holding us to the fire. Deep, sacred Egyptian goddess holding us to the fire. She's got a lot of magic. Holding us to the fire with Hygeia, extraordinary fertility. So you want to think planting new seeds and being held to the fire while having extraordinary fertility. So we're very fertile, we're very creative, right? Beautiful. Trine, that's a beautiful aspect. So we've got the feminine in that supportive role, undercurrents role. Hey, I'm here in all of this through this eclipse season. And then final, this makes this even louder, this new moon, which again is heralding in, fully opening the door to eclipse season. Jupiter is in a half square to the new moon, is in a half square to Uranus. So remember the new moon in Uranus, who's conjunct Sedna. Again, leave me a comment below if you're like, I want more Sedna. Do a thing on Sedna. Do it. Let me know. If there's enough interest, I'll do it. I know a lot of you have commented on like, yeah, do it. But if you haven't yet, let me know. So the new moon is in that square already to Uranus and Sedna, radical, revolutionary, complete, full body transformation. And then sitting in between those two is Jupiter. What is Jupiter? The great expander. Amplifies everything. So amplifies more radical, revolutionary, amplifies more Sedna, clinging on, holding on. Oh my God, we have to surrender in order to get to the really good, right? She turns into a goddess. She turns into her fingers that were cut off. They turn into these beautiful porpoises and whales and all the sea creatures, right? There's magic to be had, but what stage of Sedna are you at right now? Are you holding onto the boat? Is the masculine cutting off your fingers? Are you in the deep descent down into the underworld, the watery underworld? Are you down at the bottom? Have you hit rock bottom? And you've got all like the snarly hair and you're just like, oh my God, this is so bad. I can't see the light. Are you in the stage of this initiation where the shaman has come? The shaman has come and lovingly picked out the barnacles out of your hair, has lovingly helped to guide you through this initiation. Are you through the initiation and you're literally looking at the sea creatures that have become your cut off fingers, and you're starting to see the gifts, and you're starting to see a whole new world, and you're starting to see yourself on the other side of the transformation? That's a really, really powerful journey of what's happening in 2025 and 2026. Really powerful journey. I might do that in membership a little bit. I think that might be what we'll do. We'll do a little bit of Sedna. So for those of you who are like, oh my gosh, Sedna, I'm feeling that. I feel this mythical archetypal journey. I am in that. This is me. We're going to do that either in the September 1st or the October 1st workshop. I'm not sure yet, but we'll do that in Bones, in membership. Again, that's where the 2.5 hour Eclipse deep dive is. That's where I kind of hold us through the whole arc of Eclipse season in an embodied journey in kind of a way. All right. That's it for the new moon on Sunday, the 24th. This yod is still extraordinarily active. So now the new moon has kind of shifted. Now the sun goes to 1 degrees. Obviously, the moon went to 1 degrees. It just went a little faster, goes through that yod. The sun at 1 degrees, Pluto at 1 degrees, Saturn, Neptune at 1 degrees, and square Uranus. So that yod that we just spoke about, that gets loud. It's still loud. Sunday, of course, into next week. And then next week, we want to think September 1st. This will be in next week's episode. Saturn retrogrades back into Pisces. That's a big deal. This is a big deal. Next week, we also continue on our eclipse journey here in Rewilding Weekly. Again, subscribe, hit the bell. If you don't get my emails, I send out an email every Sunday. When this episode comes out, I send out an email. It's got literally day-by-day breakdown of the energy with journal prompts, pro tips on how you can practice with stuff. I have the whole team in Rewilding refers back to this weekly. We have people in our community who, if they don't get the email for some weird reason, got lost in spam or something, they're emailing us in like, hey, I didn't get my Rewilding Weekly. Hey, I didn't get the email. Can you send it to me? Hey, where is this thing? It's become such this thing in Rewilding that it's like a guide. It's a guidebook. I had another friend message me and she goes, hey, I just had my 50th birthday party. I invited some old friends. Dude, we got super witchy with it. You know what we did? She's like, I read out the journal prompts from the Rewilding Weekly. She's like, it was so good. We followed the little practice you had in there, like write this stuff on a piece of paper, do these journal prompts, ask these questions, given the astrological lineups, and then we burnt it in the fire. We did some witchy dancing around the fire. So if you're not getting the Rewilding Weekly, sign up. It's free. Like, it's free. It comes out when this comes out, and I pour a lot of love into it, a lot of thought on how I can just guide us and give us something that we can easily refer back to all week long for things. So would love to see you there. You'll also see that the Eclipse specials opened up. Again, new human activation. We talked about 2 events in Australia, talked about Bones and that 2.5 hour deep dive. I did not talk about Dragon Mystery School. That's there on a crazy deal. So if you want a mystery school, like a good and proper mystery school, this is a 3-month journey. This is a 12-week journey into alchemy. Like, if I had to give a word to that mystery school, it's a journey into alchemy. It was when Merlin revealed himself. It was when the alchemy mysteries revealed themselves. Yeah. Pretty good. All right. I love you all. Would love to see you in the comments. I'm always there the first couple of days after an episode comes out. All right. I love you. I love you. I love you. Have an awesome new moon. Have an awesome week. Have an awesome start to eclipse season.